What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And today, I want to do a quick summer review of all the shows I've been watching this summer. I haven't been posting reviews up just because I've been so busy, and every time I think I'll have time, I never have time. But I have been doing my best to keep up with some of the Turkish shows that were airing over the summer. And now that we're heading into the fall, I definitely want to get back into doing the video reviews, especially since a lot of the shows that I did start watching over the summer are kind of coming to an end right about now. So there are going to be definitely some new shows coming out that I want to kind of get into and share with you guys. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and that share button to share this video with anybody you know that also likes to watch Turkish Dizis, and click that like button if you like this video. Now let's get into it. Let's talk about what I've been watching over the summer. Now, as we ended spring last year, a lot of shows had started and then a lot of shows had also ended, and we only had like one show that was going into its second season. But other than that, most of the shows that I was reviewing on this channel are either done airing or I'm not currently watching anymore, just because they've moved on to different areas, and I had such a gap between being able to watch the shows that I just didn't go back into watching them. But the shows that I have been watching, and I wrote them down because quite a few of them, is Kalp Yarası. Love that show. Amazing show. The only reason why I actually started watching that show is because the female lead looks so much like the female lead in Son Yaz. Like I saw like this clip somewhere, and that's when the show was like just getting started. But when I looked at the female lead, it looked so much like the female lead from Son Yaz, and Son Yaz was currently on a break. So I thought like, oh my gosh, did she go to another show? But it turned out to be a completely different actress. And so now I'm in love with her, and she's completely made her own identity to me because I felt like, wow, this girl looks so much like this other actress. And also I knew the male lead from a show that I watched so many years ago. And so I kind of already knew about him. And then there's a couple of characters in that show that actually I know from prior, but I won't get into that until I do a review over that show. But absolutely love Kalp Yarası. If you aren't watching it yet, you should definitely get into it because it's one of the shows that are still going on, and I hope, fingers crossed, that it'll still continue. It is basically a show about, you know, this guy that gets cheated on, ends up meeting someone else, uses that person as a decoy, and then ends up falling in love with the decoy. So that's like the general description of the show. But I will get into more detail because I'm going to be uploading another video following this one all about Kalp Yarası. The other show that I have been watching is Adam Masali. Love this show. I think it's amazing. Unfortunately, I think they decided to end that show. I saw something that said final. I'm not absolutely sure, but if they have decided to end it, that's going to be super sad. This show is about a girl who's trying to pick herself up in the business world, and then she ends up hurting someone that she thought was a bad person. And now she tried to reprimand her mistake, and in the process of reprimanding her mistake, she ends up falling in love with this guy. And so they've actually reached this point of like, now they've confessed to each other and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get back up to date with that show. I was up to date like 3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden, like, life gets crazy, and 2-hour episodes is a long show to watch. So I'm going to try to catch up with that one before I put up a review on it. Really sad. I think I'm only 2 or 3 episodes behind, but love that show. There's a few actors in that show that I kind of know from previous shows that I've watched, and I'll definitely talk about that in my review for Adam Masali. Another show that I was watching was Kızlara Aşk, another sad show. Like, I love that show. It was such a comedic relief. And yeah, I saw a final. I don't know what's going on. Why are all these shows just lasting 2-3 months? So that show, I saw a final episode pop up for that one. It's an interesting show, a little different from what you normally would watch with the Turkish Dizi, just because the male lead for this show is, you know, after a few episodes, you realize he's not really a good guy. He lies to everyone around him. He's playing all kinds of sides just for his own benefit. So he's not your guy that's like this the hero kind of guy. He's actually a bit of a jerk, but it seems like later on in the episodes he's starting to grow some kind of, you know, ethics, I want to say. And so basically, a girl wants to invite her family to tell her that she's engaged to this guy, finds out the guy she was engaged to cheated on her, and when her family does end up showing up, she gets into this accident with someone else, and because her ex-fiance works in the hospital, he's like, hey, you know, I know you want to be with me, you should be with me, and all that stuff. And so she tells, you know, the doctor that she's engaged to the guy she got into the accident with, and then her family finds out, and then as she tries to get herself out of the lie, the guy that she lied about is pulling her deeper and deeper into the lie, and of course they end up falling in love with each other. So I'm actually a few episodes behind on that show too, and I'll definitely post a video as soon as I catch up with all the episodes. Another show that I was watching, Bot All You Knew, great show. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I saw a final for that one too. I'm praying that I'm wrong. Bot All You Knew, love it. The girl in that show played in Sol Yanim, and that one I was watching for the female lead for that one. But she was like one of the antagonists in that show, and then she moved on to this show. Absolutely love her, because in the beginning I was thinking like, man, she needs to be an antagonist. I don't see her as a female lead, but she has definitely like owned this role. The guy, I've never seen him before, and I guess like because she's such a great actress, they had to give her a stepping stone, and Bot All You Knew is a great stepping stone for her. That series I have to actually catch up on the episodes for as well. And so I'm going to do that, and hopefully it's not on the final, but there's so many finals that I saw coming out just today alone that I don't know which is which. But when I do individual reviews of each of these shows, I'll definitely let you guys know if it's ended, how many episodes it has in it, and really if it's worth going ahead to watch just because you might not have been watching it. And now, another show that I've been watching is called, I'm going to try to say it right, Ikimizin City. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's an extremely long title for me to say. Guys, this show, I don't know what to say. Love this show. Love, love, love this show. It's a weird dynamic in this show. The male lead of this show actually used to play in another series as an antagonist to the actress that plays a female lead right now in Kazada Ash. So he was like an antagonist in that show. So I was like, whoa, they're giving him a male lead role. This is amazing. Got to watch this. And also one of the guys in this show was in Shencha Kapimi. So I was interested in just watching it. Love it. I saw something that said final. Why are all these shows having finals? I feel like I'm just going to have to review every show for you guys and then just leave it up to you to go ahead and try to watch it for what it was for the time that it lasted. Now, a few mentions that I want to put out there, because those are the shows that I'm currently watching, but there's a few mentions I have to put out there. One of them I was watching was called Kam Tavanlar. That one was it was an okay show. It was very short-lived. I think the issue with that show was that it dragged too much. It dragged too much, and the reason for their issues was not really that enticing to continue watching. I was a little bit sad that it ended, but I really did like the show. Another one that I wanted to point out was Kardashian, meaning brothers or whatever, or brothers and sisters. And so that one is still actually airing right now. I think they're on their second season or going to have a second season. I only ended up watching that show because I saw like, you know, like how people put those little clips together of couples and stuff like that. So there was a couple from the show, wasn't the main couple by any means, but it was the female cousin, her love story. And I watched it and I was like, oh man, this is super interesting. So then I actually found the show and then started watching the show. And then I took a few trips and then tried to keep up with the show, but I haven't been able to. I think I got to episode like 13, 14. I wanted to mention it just because I feel like I am going to go back to that show just because I love it so much. I thought it was a great show. It's something completely different. It's not your average love story. There's actually several love stories going on in that show, but it's not centered around, you know, like this kind of love stuff. It's really more of a family type love. And so I definitely want to get back into that one. Another one I wanted to mention was Legacy. You guys know I love that show. I was keeping up with that show every single day, especially last year, just keeping up with it every single day. It's dragging a bit for me now. I can't watch a show too long where everyone is just constantly suffering. Like there's no alleviation in that show. And especially when they lost I don't remember what they called her, but one of the females died in the show because the actress got pregnant and didn't want to continue the show. And when she died, that kind of like drifted me off a bit because I knew they were going to introduce a new love, and I just don't like falling in love with one character and then having to go in to falling in love with another one. And they're actually moving into like, it's basically their second season now. And I don't know if I'm going to catch up with that one, but I do keep up with like the groups and listening to the chats, and that helps me keep up with the show. And if there's anything really interesting that's not like heart-wrenching and stuff all the time, I probably will watch those episodes, but I'm not going to watch it every day like I used to. And then Son Yaz, love. I mean, guys, I was addicted to Son Yaz. Really loved that show. Again, when I had my season of not being able to watch any of the Dizis, that one kind of fell off the map for me. And then they also lost Yagmur's mom. She dies in the show. And so I just felt like, do I really want to keep up with the show? I basically watched it up to the point where they decided that they were going to be together regardless. But I have been watching clips here and there. I did see a few things happening in the show that I really do like. I wish I could keep watching it, but I think just following up and keeping up with what's the progress of the show is great for me. The hardest part about watching Turkish Dizis and being a fan of Turkish Dizis is, you know, each one of these shows are like 2.5 hours long. I mean, that's the time of a movie in a movie theater. But for Turkey, that's just your regular TV show time. And it's quite long. I love it because, you know, it gives you so much to look forward to that you can sit down, but it's like watching a movie. And obviously, you also have a life to live. So if I'm watching like 10 shows, that's a lot of time spent just, you know, watching for 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is why I choose to keep up with some shows just on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, those kind of things. And then there's certain shows that I definitely just watch the full 2 hours because I think my top show right now would have to be Kalp Yarasi. I've actually am completely up to date with that show, which is why I'm going to be filming a review on that show. And I was really keeping up with all the other ones as well. Another one that I really was Ikimizin Siri. That one definitely was keeping up with that show. I think I'm up to date with it. I don't think I'm behind on any episodes for that show either. And I think the reason why is because those are less comedic, more intense. And so it's like you just got to see what the next episode's all about. But Oh You Knew definitely was one I was keeping up with really well. I think I'm behind maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. But I love all the shows that I'm currently watching. Let me know in the comments below what shows you're currently watching, what shows you think I should be watching right now. I'll try to see if I could add it to the plethora of shows that I'm already watching. I don't know if that's even possible. Hopefully one day I'll be blessed enough to not have to work so much so that I could spend more time watching Turkish Dizis. Does that sound bad? I think that sounds really, really bad. I don't know. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has continued subscribing to this channel, even though I haven't been posting as as often as I used to, but I definitely want to really push this channel because I enjoy Turkish Dizi so much, and I just want to talk with others about what I'm watching, and I don't have any friends around me like that I could just say, hey, come over, let's talk about Turkish Dizis. I'm trying to get my roommate to love Turkish Dizis as much as I do. I've told my boyfriend, but yeah, he's more into football, so I guess, you know, it's a give and take. Maybe one day he'll sit and watch with me and be like, hey babe, that was crazy. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll definitely be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye!